Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to mess with the authors who write these fanfics. They make what we do possible. Thanks. Enjoy.
Now, Steven, you said you wanted to hurt the nostalgia critic.
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
Alright, so what if we did to Doug Walker what Blue Spike did to Christian, early Christian, and we somehow found a way to gaslight Doug Walker into actually shitting into a toilet and recording it and having that over his head?
To reenact his famous 5-second movie review of Batman and Robin that has been taken off YouTube and his website?
Absolutely, absolutely. That only exists on internetarchive.org.
Look it up. It's real. The Nostalgia Critic.
You can pretend to be Tara Strong and say, Nostalgia Critic, Mr. Doug, do you remember when the blonde girl in Teen Titans was hot? That's me. I did her voice.
Hey,
well, how would that get him shitting? Steven not even doing a voice trying to tell him he's Tara Strong.
It is I, My Little Pony, and like every girl in the DC Superhero Girls show. If you shit in a toilet, I'll voice a character in like an episode, I think.
No, you gotta appeal to his sense. You gotta appeal to his sense of pride. You gotta be like, I heard you're a really good shitter, Doug. Would you show me?
Oh no! You gotta show me how to shit, Doug Walker.
Show me the technique, and then I'll voice Tamara in your next video.
Take a shit.
Tamara. Voices. Woman.
What happened to Tamara?
Nothing. He just wants a better voice for her.
Nothing Tamara's ever seen.
Tamara hasn't seen, but voice dubbed by Tara Strong.
Look, take a shit and I'll make the noises for it.
Deep Trench Channel Awesome. Lore for one video.
Take a shit and I'll make the noises.
He doesn't say anything about it. They just upload an episode of that show, but Tamara's voiceovered.
Dubbed poorly.
Tamara's never seen Pokemon Master Quest.
Tamara's never seen Doug Walker take a shit.
Tamara's never seen Batman and Robin in 5 seconds.
So I just watched Batman and Robin in 5 seconds, and
I would love to see her jaw drop. She say, "What is this? You put your name on this?
Change the channel."
This is anything but awesome.
It's been taken down from the website. It changed the channel. We just watched somebody else's I Love Doug Walker, Do Not Change the Channel YouTube video.
Watched is a bold term.
No, yeah, we were watching, I put on Blaze the Movie Fan because he made a video explaining why Nostalgia Critic isn't as cringy as everyone makes it out to be.
This is our first show we've done remotely in like 4 years. Welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfiction for your listening pleasure. I'm George G. Poole. As always, I've got my two incredible co-hosts of Elias Viva Vlogs.
Hello.
And Stephen Blue Breed.
Hello.
Why are we so distant today?
Because we're dying. What?
I was doing a Blaze the Movie Fan impression.
Yeah, that's the answer.
We're social distancing because we all had COVID individually.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I mean, I got sick from our food special for like a week, and then I immediately got a booster shot, and which also made me sick again, but now I'm better.
Good.
Yeah, so maybe you did give us COVID from your pilk expulsion.
No, I think what actually happened was I moved our friend's furniture up 3 flights of stairs in the cold all day, and then I
You did do that.
immediately after that, then we drank all the milk, and my
Fuck.
body was hit with a comatose 1-2 punch.
Yeah, shit.
And you're already like lactose intolerant too.
Yeah.
The video should have been out by now, but it's not. I'm sorry. I've been busy with stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been
But
streaming. Follow
it'll
your
be
stream.
Twitch.tv/SwellTimeGPole. Stream several times a week, sometimes. Check it out. Very epic, very cool.
You playing Mega Man Legends 2 right now at the time of recording?
We got Spider Saturdays, Spider-Man games on Saturdays. Very cool.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah, and I thought I would play them because it's a good idea. But yeah, Twitch stream, very cool. Check it out. Thank you, Steven.
Let's see here. I've been
enlighten us.
sick.
Yeah,
I've been
you got
sick.
it real bad.
I've been sick and I've just been working on I'm working on something. You guys may or may not like it when it's out though.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Nostalgia Critic.
This is the second episode of the new year, and we're doing Metroid.
Metroid.
What's everybody's experience with Metroid?
I have played all of the 2D ones, but none of the 3D ones. Except
played-
for the new ones.
Yeah, not Dread. Or
Not
Samus
Dread, not
Returns.
Samus Returns. But I played the OG Metroid 2.
Mm.
And, well, I guess I've never played Metroid 1 because I don't really care to. But I played Zero Mission. And I played Super Metroid. And I played Metroid Fusion. And they're all fantastic games.
Yeah.
I've played Fusion
I
and some
I
of
own
Super
Metroid Other M, but I haven't played it yet. But I'll get around to it, I swear, I promise.
I tried to beat. I've played a couple of the 2D ones. I tried to play Metroid Prime, and I still want to play it someday. But I was doing it with no memory card, so I rolled in my ball form into one of the lava rooms, and then fell in
no.
and died instantly, and I couldn't do anything about it, and I lost my save, and I was like, well,
Damn.
that's my time wasted. I never picked it up again.
Yeah, you clearly weren't a lost child playing all their PlayStation 1 and 2 games without memory cards.
I just would borrow them to friends or something, or I don't know. There'd always be a reason why I didn't have one.
Yeah, you didn't even have a GameCube. You were borrowing the whole console from
Oh,
somebody.
that's true. I did beat Mario Sunshine that way though.
But yeah, I for the longest time we didn't have a memory card for our PlayStation 1, and we had Digimon World and Spyro the Dragon and all these long ass games, but we did never beat Digimon World as kids because that's just impossible. But
At least with
We
World,
did-
you can train them differently.
yeah, no, it never detoured us starting over, surprisingly. But I do remember we 112%ed Spyro 3 or whatever the big thing is without a memory card. Played through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone time and time again. Hot Wheels Extreme Racing kicked ass. Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro had a cheat code so you could unlock everything, and that got rid of any problems we may have faced. Just put that in, then go to level select and pick up where you left off.
Even what Metroids have you played?
Let's see. I've played Super, the first one on NES, which I did not have fun with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat the first one on friggin' NES with an emulator and whatnot. I didn't cheat until later on, where I was like, okay, this is fucking garbage. I was just really mad because everything was in such a weird spot and there's no clear indicator because it's the NES.
What about Metroid 2 on Game Boy?
Metroid 2 I played a little bit of, but I don't know, I don't recall much from it.
It's very hard to remember anything in that game.
Mm.
For one thing, you're on a Game Boy screen, but also everything's super zoomed in, So
Yeah.
there's not much to work with on the screen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I remember getting to a specific point and just getting lost because every Metroid game has like a part where there's just secret walls you can go through, and
Right.
finding those on a gray Game Boy screen is not happening.
Yeah.
Is it Game Boy or Game Boy Advance?
Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Oof.
I also rebought it on 3DS, but I probably got about as far as I did there as I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a functional game, which is a pretty big deal for Game Boy games.
There have been some
Oh,
cool
yeah.
Metroid games. I would like to play more of the 3D ones, at least Prime and Prime 2 maybe. I just have not.
Mm.
Gotta get another 3DS to play Federation Force.
I did like Hunters or whatever, like the multiplayer one was on Game Boy Advance. Or was it DS?
That was DS. Metroid
Yeah.
Prime Hunters.
Yeah, some people I knew had it on the school bus, so like we played it on the school bus and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was so sick. A lot of DS games you could do like a remote play, and you only needed the one person to have the cartridge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Mario Kart, Mario Party did that. DS was sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This one kid had like fighting games on his DS, so everybody else got to play them, and you only need one copy. It's great.
I've got Super Street Fighter 4 on 3DS, but I think if you do like the remote play like that without a second copy, the other person can only play as Ryu, which is really funny.
I remember that. That was like one of the first 3DS games.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
super early for some reason,
Yeah.
and it's not very fun to play on the 3DS. Like, there's a Street Fighter game on 3DS, there's a Tekken game on 3DS. ArcSys made Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden on 3DS, which is a crime because that game looks beautiful. It is beautiful, but it's on
Yeah.
3DS, so it's very hard to play, and you'll never play with anybody ever.
Mm.
But it's really cool. It's a really nice looking fighting game.
Oh, yeah, the sprites are awesome.
I'm sure that did well, at least in Japan. Like the DS was huge,
Probably.
and Street Fighter 4 was really
yeah.
big at the time.
No, yeah, I don't doubt that that all these did great in Japan, but in America, you're just not gonna find things like that. I was surprised that Monster Hunter took off in America as well as it did. Like, I know Wii U was really like a big one for it, but 3DS had tons of people playing on it,
Yeah,
and then World just super popularized it for everyone in America.
I played 2 on PSP, and like every time I would join anyone, they'd always be Japanese. There was like nobody like American playing it.
The PSP's online capabilities were nuts. Like,
was really
Kingdom
good.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep had that entire like multiplayer thing, which I don't even think you can experience anymore.
Yeah, PSP was very ahead of its time for online.
Like, it's in the PS3 and the PS4 ports, but can you even like access it? Does it do anything if you go into them?
I don't know. I never used it.
I never used it. But goddamn, Birth by Sleep is so good.
I'm glad you like it. I don't dislike it.
I do like it.
I just had a bad first experience because I had no start button, so I couldn't level up. It was miserable.
Yeah.
Really slow.
Yeah, that was your gaming moment. You beat Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep without leveling up or like changing any of your commands.
A not fun level 1 run.
Yeah, because like what makes that game so cool is that you can, like, instead of having like the typical magic window and stuff like that, is you can cycle through different commands you can assign. But if you can't pause and like do that in the menus, you can't change any of them. So you're just stuck with the base things from the very beginning.
I'll do my 1-3 hit combo for the entire game just to get the lore.
You do Magnega, Thundaza, and you just win the game every single time.
Yeah, there's a few KH games where you can do that. That
We've-
did make grinding easier in, I think it was Dream Drop Distance on the Peter Pan area.
I liked Dream Drop Distance. I liked the stupid flow motion.
I did too. That was fun. At least on the remake. The DS one was a little bit hard because you couldn't see anything, but on the console it was good.
Yeah, no, the console ports like made those games much more accessible. Just because, like, again, playing them handheld is just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Man, I love Metroid. It makes me talk about every other video game but Metroid.
I'm sure you'll play Other M and have a life-changing experience.
Maybe one
maybe.
day. I bought it a long time ago, so I'd hope.
Quick, what's everybody's favorite Metroid game?
Fusion.
Probably Super.
Fusion. I like the
Yeah.
aesthetics the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, I don't know. They're like Super, Zero Mission, and Fusion are all like grade A games to me.
Super's
Yeah.
visuals are very beautiful.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the
I guess I
sound
just
font.
like Super was like the first one that I really, really got into because I played Fusion and Zero Mission later, and then like I had Metroid 2 growing up, but that one's not that great. But Super Metroid, I remember buying from a flea market, and I was like, "Whoa, this game's crazy! It's awesome!"
It is really good
yeah.
even now. It holds up really well.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, like if you were gonna get into Metroid, I would probably start with Super Metroid and then like work around from there. Nowadays, if people haven't played it, they're playing Dread, of course, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that game's
Dread
cool.
looks good.
It does look good. I'm glad it's so like snappy. I was super worried at being like a 3D game that it just wouldn't move as quick as a Metroid game does, but like speedrunners are already going nuts with that game.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I remember pretty much the week it came out, people were doing all these like crazy routes and stuff because you can get stuff out of order if you do things in all different ways, which makes
Yeah.
it really cool. That's kind of like what makes Metroid so cool. The exploration is impeccable.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, it's time to read some fan fiction.
True,
Yes.
true.
Let's see. I can get us started. I've got mine here good to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
And as always, I picked like more than one, and then just in case somebody picks the same ones I do. But now I'm always conflicted as to which one I should read. So no, I'll do this one. This one's probably better. The other, I read like a fetish one last one, and I feel if I pick the other one now, it'll be another fetish one. And
Metroid and a
try-
fetish fan fiction? No way.
okay. I could read the chapter title, but it gives it away anyway. So the chapter title and the first word of the chapter are the same thing. So
No.
Harry Potter: Return of Samus Potter, Chapter 1.
Why would Samus need to be a Potter?
Samus Potter.
Do you know how many Potters are in the extended universe?
The extended universe of Potters.
Oh my god.
Harry Potter just had his 11th birthday at some stinking rock in the middle of nowhere after his uncle Vernon Dursley carted them home because carted them out home because Harry had received letters addressed to him. It was literally 2 seconds after midnight when 4 loud bangs were heard on the rickety wooden door.
I love
I
when
warned you! Go ahead.
I love when it's nighttime and someone disturbs the Vernon Dursleys.
This is the part where they're in like the island because they were so afraid of all the letters.
Oh.
Oh my
They
lord.
trapped Harry and the family in like an island. And now someone's banging on their door.
Harry is an island boy.
I warned you! Go away! Vernon shouted as he rushed into the room with a shotgun. Harry now knew what the package his uncle brought with them was.
Oh my fucking god.
There were 4 more loud booms and the door was knocked down, letting the raging winds inside the tiny room. 2 figures stood there. One was massive and thickly built, while the other was slightly shorter and feminine with long hair. They entered the hut. I almost said Pizza Hut. They entered the hut despite protests of Verdun and Petunia.
They couldn't out
The
pizza the hut. Despite protests.
The taller one put the door back on its hinges, muffling the sounds of the storm outside. This is like just in universe. This is like the funniest Harry Potter scene, regardless of any sort of crossover you could put in. They come and bust down the door, just walking in the rain, and Hagrid just puts the door back up.
It's a great
It's
gag.
so evil. The larger of the two was a man standing about, had a large trench coat on which looked worn. He also had a large tangled beard he was sure his aunt would have demanded shaved off, and beady beetle eyes, which were black but held a twinkle to them. Let me remind the audience, we read these stories verbatim or as best we can when the grammar does not match with our brain length.
Would you describe his coat as a trench coat?
I guess.
It's like a robe, not a trench coat.
No, yeah, because like trench coat, I don't know if he can close it all the way. Maybe in that scene he's wearing one because it is raining out.
I guess it is a
I don't
trench coat.
remember.
It's like a little tougher material. He's a wizard, so I think of it as a robe.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you describe his eyes of that of a beetle?
a beady
Beady
beetle
eyes.
eyes.
Imagining him with like tiny 1 centimeter wide eyes is really funny.
Yeah, because I can only think of like the movie versions, and Hagrid's actor has very big eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the book has something to say about that.
Shove it, JK.
Go check out our Pottermore Let's Play video on our YouTube channel.
To learn much more about JK.
J.K. Rowling on the floor laughing.
Raffle.
I want to do
The
it.
other
I won't
The other was a woman 7 foot with blonde hair and green eyes, much like Harry's. He guessed his aunt and uncle knew her because they gasped at her sight.
Is that
She
J.K.
wore
Rowling?
a large coat. Vernon and Petunia recognized J.K. Rowling.
They recognize
the
God.
creator.
It's the creator! Why?
She's not supposed to be
She
here.
She wore a large coat over her which seemed to bulge in some areas, like her forearms, legs, and chest, like she was wearing armor.
Whoa.
You! Vernon seethed in anger and fear. You're supposed to be dead! If this is a trick from you or the other freaks, I won't allow it!
You won't allow it? Die. I won't allow you to live.
He is holding a 12 gauge. I will not be swindled by your lack of death. And he blasts her. Hagrid stops the bullets with his umbrella.
No.
The arrivals looked at Vernon like he just pissed in their Cheerios. The woman then turned to Harry with a smile. Hey, Harry, you probably won't remember me, but I'm so happy to finally see you again. I'm sorry, but who are you? Harry asked with a slight smile at how his relatives who had mistreated him were scared stiff. I'm Samus Potter. I used to go by Lily. Harry, I'm your mum. The woman smiled.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Harry. This is the second Harry Potter fanfic we read where Harry's mom was still alive, but also another character in another universe.
This fucking like space bimbo. I'm your mom, Harry.
Harry has Cho's own DNA.
Harry's mom is a hot blonde.
Harry's mom is like wearing high heels in her like Zero suit.
Harry is
He
fucking...
said, I think it's implied she's got her entire suit on because it said
Yeah.
her coat looks very bulky.
It's like underneath the coat.
Yeah. It's like when robots wear cloaks over their big robot parts.
She's wearing the same trench coat as Hagrid, but with the armor underneath.
Harry was in shock. He'd think this is a prank if he didn't know that the Dursleys had no sense of humor. He's been told his mom died in a car crash, yet here she apparently was, alive and well. True, you know. Them there curses meant for her sent her to another world for a tad, the large man explained simply.
Hagrid says, "True."
True. true with 2 exclamation marks.
True.
True.
Anyway.
Took her forever to find a way back here with the magic going on all over there and all. Magic? Harry asked in confusion. Stop! I absolutely forbid it! You cannot and will not talk to the boy about you freaks and what you do! Vernon bellowed as his
shotgun.
as his face turned purple with rage. Harry thought he looked like a big prune.
He's so mad.
He's purple with a gun.
He's turning into a fucking California racer.
Verdon, he's my son, the lady growled. I'm taking him with us right now, and if you try to stop us, I will make you pay. Out! Vernon bellowed as he fired off the gun.
Oh.
It caught the blonde in the chest, making her flinch.
Oh, no! He's a
He shot her in the chest.
He's a fucking murderer!
He said out and went blasting.
Stand your ground, Law Vernon. Stand your ground.
Yeah, they kicked his door down.
Personally, I would have gone for Hagrid. He's a little bigger.
Yeah, but he hates her more.
Looked at her
Hates
like
her.
Yeah,
Isn't she
she's
his
supposed
sister?
to be dead. No, it's Petunia's sister.
Oh, okay. It's fine then. My bitch wife's ex-sister.
My bitch wife's ex-bitched her. Mrs. Potter, the man gasped. I'm fine, Hagrid, the woman assured him. I've taken much worse than a blast from a gun.
Oh shit.
Harry looked on, awed and shocked that his supposed mom stopped sending pictures of Vernon Dursley.
He's quite the
I
actor.
hate his little spoon. Vernon's the funniest Harry Potter character. I'm so glad we see him so often.
Yeah.
Go watch
Let's
our
see.
Palo episode to see some special Vernon time. Actually,
Yeah.
he is in that one, isn't he?
No, it was I think that was just a Harry Potter episode, but it had...
It was outside Vernon's house.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the Palo one, though. Palo one was Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
But didn't he mimic somebody throwing, like, baby Harry at something else?
I don't know. That was like 4 years ago.
Come on.
Come on.
Stephen is sending progressively worse pictures of Vernon Dursley.
How is his gut so low?
He looks like a middle school art teacher.
He looks like a teardrop.
Oh no. Oh no. I hate the illustrations of him.
Yeah. Okay.
This is an
This is an audio
format.
platform.
Go ahead.
Harry looked on, awed and shocked that his supposed mum survived a shotgun blast to the chest and stated she's had worse.
Supposed mum.
Verdon and Petunia, however, looked terrified. Harry, we're getting you out of here. My sister was supposed to treat you better than this, she sighed. I have no sister. You weren't my sister from the moment you went to that school for freaks, Petunia spat. Whatever,
got an
the blonde
education.
sighed.
The Chozo School.
The moment you went to college.
I couldn't call you my sister anymore.
No Dursley would go to higher education.
No, Dursley's
Quote
eyes
unquote.
No, Dursley's eyes can point in the same direction.
Quote unquote higher education. Whatever, the blonde sighed and turned to Harry again. Come on, you probably don't even know about magic, do you? Like card tricks? Harry asked. His mum sighed. I mean real magic, Harry. I was born a witch, your dad a wizard. You, Harry, are a wizard, his mum explained. I'm a what? He asked, clearly not believing his
This
ears.
fucking lives
He
under
knew
the
nothing.
under the stairs bumpkin. What?
What?
Why'd you say there, pretty woman?
Is that like card tricks? No. Son.
Lady,
No, Harry.
Lady, I'll tell you what, you're prettier than my mom's yellow teeth.
Vernon, you shoot her in the head this time. Get her out of here.
Kill him.
You get rid of that evil spirit possessing my sister's corpse. He asked, clearly not believing his ears. He knew nothing about magic. The only talent he had, according to his uncle, was taking up space and food he doesn't deserve.
Talent.
That's a good talent.
He goes to the guidance counselor at Hogwarts, like, you got any talents? He's like, well, my uncle says I'm good at taking up space and stealing his food.
We'll put you in Hufflepuff, I think.
Yeah.
Lego Vernon Dursley. You gotta stop, man. A wizard, his mum smiled. I knew your aunt and uncle wouldn't treat you well, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help you. Come on, best leave these lot, Hagrid muttered as he pointed an umbrella at the Dursleys. Mum, if you're alive, does that mean I was lied about when I was told you both died? Harry asked. I'm alive, Harry, but your father James isn't, his mum sighed as something flew past the window. In a flick, her soaked cloak was discarded, revealing what could only be described as purple and red organic armor on her body from the neck down. Her left hand was clawed, but her right was in a weird tube which looked like a futuristic version of a medieval cannon. The door was knocked down, revealing an odd green creature which resembled a fanged jellyfish. Baby, his mum muttered as she lowered the cannon. The creature flew happily around her, making mewing noise. What the bloody hell is that thing? Vernon demanded as he herded his wife and obese son behind him.
As he fucking cocked his shotgun.
As he blew a chunk out of a Metroid.
As he loads his freeze shells.
He switches to missiles.
His Resident Evil freeze and fire shells.
Baby is not a thing. She's a Metroid, Harry's mum smiled as she petted the flying creature. She thinks I'm her mum, and she acts like you would expect of a toddler. Hence, baby.
That would be very
That's
scary to
awful.
see in real life.
Oh, would be.
In front of the Dursleys, no less.
Oh, yeah.
They've never seen a color palette like that in Britain before.
No, never. Right cuddly fella she is, Hagrid agreed. Just watch for her bite. Put Shacklebolt in St. Mungle's, she did.
What?
What did you say, Vernon? You fucking
No, that was Hagrid.
You old. I thought that was. I lost track for a minute. I thought fucking Vernon was going senile. Fucking old goat.
Hagrid's a mythical creature pro. He understands everything about the Metroid.
Yeah.
Well, he did try to hex her, Samus defended. She then looked at Harry. Go get your stuff packed. That's if you have anything to pack. Sorry, I don't, Harry explained. He's so poor he's apologizing for it.
Oh.
His mum nodded in understanding before she sat down on the couch.
Yeah.
I demand you freaks get out! Vernon roared as he shook slightly.
He's losing power in his own home.
Shut it, Dursley, you great big prune, Hagrid muttered and bent the barrel of Verdon's gun into a pretzel shape.
Oh my god.
The man fainted in shock along with Petunia while Dudley froze in fear.
Oh my lord.
Happy birthday, Harry! Hagrid smiled as he pulled a slightly squashed box out of one of his many pockets and handed it to Harry. The cake inside was a round chocolate cake with Happy Birthday, Harry written on it in green icing. Sorry it's a bit squashed. Still tastes alright, though.
Hands him a
Thanks.
crushed cigar box with some like half-smoked cigars in there.
Oh my god.
Some ashes in the corner.
Sorry, Harry. I got a little withdrawal on the way over.
You'll learn along the way that I've got a problem I'm working on. Thanks, Harry smiled as he took a pre-cut slice from the cake, which he handed to Dudley.
Took a pre-smoked
What?
stogie from the case that he handed to Dudley.
Handed to Dudley. You smoke it, it'll be funny.
Pass it around.
I got next, Dudley.
What? Dudley stuttered fearfully. It's okay, Dud. I'm not blaming you for being so spoilt, brat. That's Aunt Petunia's fault, Harry explained. Right. Dudley gulped and set the cake aside, afraid it'd bite him back or something, no doubt. Here, Harry, something for my travels in that different universe. His mum smiled and handed him a round orb orange in color with red patterns etched into it. It's a Varia suit. Should protect you when I can. Harry's like 8 years old. He doesn't need a Varia suit. Harry's 11 years old. He doesn't need a Varia suit.
Dragon Ball.
Just straight to the fucking various suit, like none of them.
In case he who shall not be named tries to melt you in lava, you will be immune.
Harry would look so cool with that suit on as 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, just there's a head coming out of it.
You better
It would
Photoshop
look like
that.
Yeah. It would look like any of the Spy Kids 3 kids.
That is true. They all look like that.
They all look bad. She explained, and it folded out into a suit about 6 feet high, heavily armored.
It's gonna look
Oh
real
my
scrunched
God.
up with Harry in there.
At this time, only one word passed through Harry's thought
What
track.
could it be?
Cool.
Cool.
Hey, did it not spit my drink out?
The armor had a red-colored chest piece, orange limbs, and a red helmet with green visor. On the left part of the chest was the engraving SAV5. SAV5? Harry asked in confusion. Samus Aran Varia 5, his mum explained. So, it's the 5th one? Dudley asked. Samus
I
nodded.
thought it was Samus Potter.
What? Whatever. They forgot, okay? What of the other 4? First 2 were destroyed, 3rd was upgraded to a Phazon suit, and 4th was infected by the X and had to be destroyed, Samus remarked offhand. Dudley gulped and paled. Samus then looked at the Dursley adults and shook her head. Hagrid, would you mind? Not at
What is he
all,
gonna do?
Hagrid nodded.
Oh no.
Hagrid nodded and picked up Vernon and took him to the bedroom.
Oh no.
He then sat him on the bed with Petunia and
Now
walked
listen.
over to Baby.
Gonna give him the talk.
And walked over to Baby and petted the Metroid affectionately.
Oh no. He's gonna feed him to him.
He's gonna walk him in the room with it and leave.
Vernon's got so much energy to share. Imagine watching Vernon get sucked until he turns to dust.
Watching his energy tank deplete.
Just like Mother Brain. Then he starts drooling and he starts to come back to life. Vernon's head on the ground as he gets turned into a giant monster.
Oh my god.
So, what now? Harry asked. So far, he'd found out his mum was alive. A jellyfish thing called Baby, which is a Metroid, likes his mum, like a parent, and he's a wizard. We can go to Molly's house. She's a friend of mine. Samus smiled at her son. Who's Molly? Was Molly in Harry Potter lore?
I'm not sure.
She's probably in like number 7. There's that whole thing where they like go back to his old house or something. I don't remember. It's been too long. I need to watch Harry Potter again.
Yeah.
I gotta check the cable for the next Harry Potter weekend.
That's Ron's mom.
Oh,
Molly
yeah.
Weasley.
I'm sure they knew each other real well.
Yeah, that'd be really convenient.
The
Samus
Weasleys
smiled.
The Weasleys are Chozos.
That is some
They're
cursed
dirty
knowledge.
bird people.
What a sentence.
The Weasleys are Chozos.
They're
Blue
bird
Breed
people.
2022.
The ancient civilization.
They are pretty ancient.
Ron trying to explain that his families are Chozos. Like ancient bird people, Harry.
We gave you that barrier suit, Harry.
We made it ourselves out of trash cans.
Da 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 da.
Like, make a horrible rendition, like mixing of the Harry Potter theme and the Metroid theme.
Ron just opens his mouth and that noise comes out.
So she then looked herself over. No idea how I'm supposed to explain that I'm now half Metroid, but oh well. Half Metroid, Harry asked. Side effects of the vaccine to the X, Samus sighed dejectedly. She then shook her left wrist as if she had a cramp. Okay, Harry muttered, not paying attention to the fact his hair changed blonde and his skin took a blue and yellow pattern similar to the suit his mum was wearing. Dudley fainted from shock while Samus and Hagrid looked on it all. Harry, you're a metamorphagus! You're a metamorphagus! Samus squealed in joy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
There's another chapter, but that went on for very long, so I'm gonna call it there.
Okay.
Harry's hair turned blonde, but he couldn't see it because he can't see his own hair.
I give that...
Are you applauding?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I can't tell if you're applauding or not.
Oh, yeah, sorry?
Okay, good.
Okay. I would rate that
Okay.
one twisted double barrel shotgun.
I rate that one Weasley holding out a power-up for Harry.
One stone Weasley.
Yeah, a giant stone statue of Ron
Like,
with his arms outstretched.
oh, it's too much. I need to get some water. I've had none. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna rate that story a very aggravated large man out of 10.
Fucking beautiful. Good old classic Vernon.
Classic Vernon tale. Good for the lore.
Where would we be without him? Maybe we'll read the next chapter sometime. That one, it did have Weasley in the title of the chapter.
Whoa. I want to see the Weasley Chozos so bad.
Yeah.
This is just the future we're projecting onto them. It's not what the creators are gonna put.
It's a natural occurrence.
Also, Harry somehow mutated into a Metroid because that's what happens in Metroid.
Yeah.
Even though none of Samus's adventures happened until after she got warped into another dimension. But whatever.
Okay.
He's ready. He's got his fantastic fan fiction ready to go.
The chamber was dark, save for the pool of lava far below the bridge spanning from one end to the other. The heat of the lava rose up the sides of the cold stone walls that lined the chamber and drifted out of the open windows just below the ceiling. It was up here that the beast waited, perched on one of those windows, for his target to arrive. The heat didn't bother him, but he was beginning to lose his patience. Finally, the door into the chamber, and a portly man in a red shirt and blue overalls stepped into the chamber. That was his cue. Ridley dropped from his resting place and dove down below the bridge as the man walked along it, looking for whatever was waiting for him. He spread his wings out, and as the heat rising from the lava pulled him back up on the other side of the bridge where he landed, smiling as he saw the man in red and blue look around at where he had just dropped. The sound of Ridley landing on the bridge caused the man to turn around to face him, but it was too late. Ridley reveled in seeing the portly man's face as he was knocked off of the bridge by a single swipe of Ridley's tail. He had
Oh,
an
no.
expression that could only be seen in someone who realized too late that they were about to die. It was an expression that Ridley loved to see.
Mario's dying.
Ridley stepped forward and peered down to see the man as he plummeted down to the lava, watched as he was swallowed up within it. Ridley found it odd, as humans normally started burning away to nothing before they even touched the lava in a situation like this, but he shrugged it away. It was more fun seeing them drown in the molten rock anyway. He looked down at his feet where the man's hat had fallen off when he had swatted him to the doom. Ridley picked up the hat and spun it around on his finger with a gleeful smile, before spreading his wings and taking off. He flew up out through one of the openings near the ceiling, circling around the roof of the castle before gliding off into the distance. How do you like
Can't
that?
believe he stole his hat.
He killed Mario! He just stole his hat.
Was that the whole fiction?
No, it's not over.
Okay.
It's like
I
43,000
thought it
words
was.
somehow.
I thought this was just a hit piece on Mario.
No. It's really long for some reason, even though like Mario's dead already.
Now we have to deal with with all the fallout of that.
With Ridley and Mario's hat.
Ridley's gonna put on his hat, but Mario's gonna shoot into his brain like an Odyssey.
Whoa. Ridley flew through the sky for several hours before finally approaching a giant castle, lined with spiky and grotesque monstrous statues. It was the kind of architecture that Ridley could admire. He landed in front of the huge double doors leading inside, and waited as a couple of small turtle creatures opened the door for him to enter. He walked past before they were done and knocked them aside as he forced the doors the rest of the way open. He made his way down hallway and hallway until he barged into through the room where a giant turtle with horns and a spiked shell was slouching in an ornate golden throne.
God damn, Bowser's booling.
Yeah, holy shit.
That was fast, the turtle said in surprise as Ridley's sudden arrival. You gave me an easy job, Ridley scoffed. He killed Mario so fast. The turtle snapped his clawed fingers, and a turtle and brown creature with no arms or hands, which reminded Ridley of some kind of nut, pushed a large treasure chest into the middle of the room, between Ridley and
What?
the giant turtle. I think he's
the
saying a
Goombas.
Goomba.
Oh, okay.
The small turtle opened up the chest to reveal that it was practically overflowing with gold and jewels.
Whoa. The Mario Jewel.
Do you have any proof that he's dead? The turtle asked. Ridley responded by tossing the hat on top of the pile of gold in the chest. I watched him burn.
Jeez.
Very well, then.
Whoa.
The oversized turtle nodded in satisfaction and raised an arm towards the treasure chest. Then this is all yours. Ridley walked over to the chest and closed it tightly. It's been a pleasure doing business for you.
For you.
With that, Ridley picked up the chest and left. Once he was outside the castle, he spread his wings out again and took off from the ground, flying straight up into the air. He flew higher and higher, past the stratosphere and into space, where his ship was waiting. I thought he was just gonna die. He just flew out of the atmosphere.
He flew higher and higher like Rem Lazar.
Oh god. He did.
Out of this universe. I guess this is just another stop on his trip through the cosmos.
Ridley's killing spree.
He went around to the
kills
docking
and
bay.
he kills and then he collects.
I mean, at least I don't know if he kept the Mario hat, but I hope he did. He threw it on the gold, but I guess he took the gold, so maybe he still has it.
I don't know what's Bowser gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Hang it up, frame it on his wall like J. Jonah Jameson did with the Spider-Man costume.
Gonna wear it.
He's gonna wear it and go to Peach's house and say, "How's it going, baby?
Hey,
You notice anything different?"
Oh my fucking god.
he's a nude.
Steven, if you were Bowser and you were gonna try to impress Princess Peach, what would you do?
I'd probably do just that. I'd look at a movie, and knowing me, it probably would be Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you'd say you're gonna kill Mario and then wear his hat as your hat.
That's what I would do.
To kill Mario.
Fucking steal his clothes. Like, it's
Spank
me,
Mario.
Hello, Mario.
Miyamoto.
Okay, who's Ridley killing next? What's he gonna do with all his gold? I gotta know.
He went around the docking bay and flew inside, with the massive metal doors closed behind him. Once they shut and the ship's artificial atmosphere filled up the room with breathable air, his lackeys walked in. I kind of just assumed that he could. Maybe he can, but the lackeys can't. Anyways.
Yeah, because he flew himself and up to it
He held his
anyway.
breath. Yeah, true.
He's like, all right, I gotta hold my breath for this long. All right, I can manage it. Let's see.
My crewmates will be so surprised.
They're like, you flew through the atmosphere to get here.
His face is like blue.
He's like on fire.
Oh my god.
His face is blue and his wings are torched. But it was cool.
He walked in, his lackeys walked in, he said, "Report!" He ordered them. "We broke into the turtles' castle and broke out the princess they captured, as you ordered," said one of the space pirates.
God damn, he's playing Bowser like a fiddle.
Yeah, for
Holy
real.
shit.
Ridley thought that it was the one that he placed in charge of that mission, though it was hard to tell because they all looked like him, and he couldn't be bothered to figure out who was who. "We then contacted the princess's kingdom and they were willing to pay the ransom. We just bought the gold they gave us to your treasure room before you returned." "Excellent," Ridley said coldly. "Then prepare to leave." So did Ridley take the ransom but not give the princess back?
You know, sure. He's raking in the dough right now. What are those mushrooms gonna do about it, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
what are you gonna do?
It says they broke out the princess that was captured, so maybe they let her go back home.
Maybe, and he got double gold.
Yeah.
He got 2 Mario jewels.
"Excellent," Ridley said coldly. "Then prepare to leave." The space pirates all saluted Ridley. They said that all the space pirates look like Ridley, so are they all also like hunched creatures with normal spacesuits on, or?
I don't think one bit. The space pirates are supposed to be like the bug guys with like the little mantis arms you see in Super Metroid.
Okay.
They shoot the little zigzag beams.
Maybe he meant that they looked like each other and not like Ridley.
I think that's what he meant.
Yeah.
The space pirates all saluted Ridley and left to go to their posts. Once they were gone, Ridley left as well and made his way through the ship's maze-like hallways. It was a hassle trying to get anywhere on this ship, but it was designed to ward off intruders.
Ridley got lost.
He got lost. He's so big, he can barely fit through the halls and he gets lost all the time.
Do they ever show like Ridley's ship and stuff in any of the games?
I mean, not that I've
'Cause
played. I feel like that would be a Prime thing, because he's in it, right?
That's probably a Prime thing. But I've certainly never seen it in the games I've played. We just know that he is a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
I also don't like him talking. He's doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Finally, he made it to his room, and the door shut closed behind him. Automatically locked.
Finally. What was the ETA on that, buddy?
His room at last.
He can finally let loose.
Place where Ridley can be Ridley, am I right?
Finally.
He can do his up taunt freely.
Stand up and bang his head in the ceiling.
Oh my god.
He can finally stand up straight, and no one will make fun of him.
He set the treasure chest down and went to the far wall, where he placed his hand against a secret panel, which caused the whole wall to open up. Only a handful of life forms have access to his secret room, including himself, and he tended to eat the peons he let in here so that they couldn't steal anything from him. Okay. Ridley picked the chest back up again and walked into the treasure room, where he placed it among the piles of valuables collected from across the known universe. He opened up the chest so that its contents would be on display for him and him alone. He stared at the contents of the chest for a moment, realizing that he had accidentally left the hat inside. He picked up the red cloth hat and examined it a bit more closely. It was relatively plain looking, apart from the red M in the middle of the white circle on the front, just above the brim. Ridley thought that the M must be some sort of letter from the locals' language, though he had no idea what it meant. As he looked at the hat, an idea came to Ridley, and he decided to take the hat with him as he left the treasure room.
A pretty big idea. Is he gonna put it on?
He's gonna put it on one of his soldiers so he knows how to tell them apart.
He's gonna give it to his favorite soldier.
It's here, this is your hat now. Don't take it off so I know who you are.
It's like in Tron Bond, you can put the red hat on one of your servbots to mark it as your favorite.
Oh. It's like in the Wii Mii's. The red pants.
Yeah, you can give him the red pants. He makes his favorite space bounty hunter wear red leggings. He makes him paint his shell red with acrylic paint.
Accidents is good. He made his way back to the main hangar where he had entered the ship and picked up the intercom. Attention, all crew members. This is your captain speaking. I've decided to stick around this planet a little longer to have a bit of fun. Go back to the base and report like normal. I'll catch up with you when I'm done. Oh, and if anyone touches my stuff when I'm gone, you're all dead.
My stuff in my secret room you don't know about.
Nobody's allowed in my room. Don't forget.
Ridley being able to talk puts him like on par as like TV show King K. Rool as a villain.
It sure does.
It makes Ridley suck.
Don't.
And he's playing with a Mario hat.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my shit.
They're all looking at each other like, I'm gonna touch the captain's stuff. He's gonna be gone. He'll never know.
As soon as he leaves, we're navigating the maze and we're gonna get in there.
The maze only exists to prevent people from going to Ridley's room.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
There's a sign that says "No girls allowed"
at the very end of this complex Persona Labyrinth dungeon.
They have to turn around.
He then set the intercom back down and pressed the release button on the doors. Once they had opened wide enough, Ridley jumped out and flew back onto the planet's atmosphere. He turned around to see if the ship to take off and leave as he fell down the planet's surface before turning around again and curving his descent into a glide. Ridley made his way across the green fields of the planet. The grass here was much brighter than most of the other planets he had been to before. So was everything else, for that matter. Ridley briefly wondered what it was that made everything on the planet SMB 985 so much more colorful. But his mind...
SMB?
985.
Good.
But his mind quickly...
The planet of Mario.
Super Mario Brothers 985. But his mind quickly wandered from that as he realized how hungry he was. Ridley realized that he probably should have had something to eat before he left.
Oh no! He's gonna put on the hat and do a drive-through prank.
Let's go! At last!
No! His idea that he told them he had to go back to the planet to do. Holy shit.
He said, I want to have a little more fun. And then he made a YouTube channel called Ridley Alvarez.
Oh my god.
Steven's next fanfiction he writes for a holiday is just going to be this entire fanfiction, but it diverges here.
He's gonna copy and paste.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the
But
first
then
time.
Ridley got an awful, terrible, nasty idea. He put on the hat and said, "Hello,
Ridley gooning in a damn car.
I'll have the big car of the combo."
I can't.
I'm sorry that I'm the one that came up with that brought up Super Mario Drive-Thru.
Beautiful.
Okay, where was I?
He was going down.
Ridley realized that he probably should have ate something before he left. Or someone. It wasn't his fault if his lackeys happened to taste like lobster. Ridley spotted what appeared to be an old well and landed beside it. There was a cluster of some kind of sickly purple fungus growing all around the well, which Ridley proceeded to pull up from the ground and examine. The mushrooms had a skull-like pattern on the caps, which was likely a sign that they were highly toxic. Ridley laughed and ate them all anyway, mentally daring them to try to make him sick.
That's great.
Okay, now this is turning into a you type of fanfic.
Oh my god.
You say, "This won't stop me, this is shit." Oh!
Ridley rolled on the ground and started clutching his stomach. Just kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
He then took off again and flew towards the green mountains off in the distance. They looked kind of like they had big eyes, which Ridley found a bit odd, but he'd seen weirder things before. The hills and mountains got bigger and bigger as he got closer. In fact, they seemed to be getting bigger than they should. Ridley passed it off as some kind of strange optical illusion caused by a distortion in the atmosphere, or at least something along those lines, as his destination came into view. It was a large red and white castle that was so gaudy looking it made Ridley feel sick. Or was it the mushrooms? No, it was definitely the large castle. The really large castle. Ridley wasn't sure why they would have needed to make a castle that size unless the beings that lived in there were around his size, which he was sure they weren't. Ridley landed outside the castle and pulled out the red hat. As he looked at the hat in his hand, it finally started to settle in that something was wrong. The hat was much, much bigger than it had been before. Ridley had no idea what was going on, but he decided to just stick to his plan and figure things out later.
Oh,
Mushrooms.
he ate the mushroom and now he's in small Ridley mode.
Oh,
Tragic.
no, he
Yep.
is.
He needs a mega mushroom.
The one who it had belonged to before was supposed to be some kind of hero to the people here. And he would relish in watching them as they see him wearing that hat and realizing what would happen. He could almost
They're gonna
taste
jump
their
on Ridley
misery.
and kill him.
Or was that the mushroom? No, it was the misery. Ridley put the hat on and
Good.
walked up to the front doors of the castle.
Yeah.
Here we go. He was
That's
about
cool.
to he was about to knock them down and force his way inside when he heard a voice from behind him.
Hello, Mario.
Oh hey, Mario. I didn't realize you'd be back so soon. Ridley whipped around and nearly knocked over the man standing behind him with his tail. The man didn't seem to notice, but just stood there, smiling. He looked similar to the man Ridley had gotten the hat from, but was a bit taller, thinner, and wearing green instead of red. The emblem on his hat was also an L rather than an M. Most unusual was that the man seemed to be almost as tall as Ridley himself. What?
Oh, fuck.
Ridley asked, confused by the man's behavior. Have you rescued the princess already? That was certainly faster than a normal. Ridley stared blankly at the man in green, unsure of how to react. I guess old Bowser's still no match for you, no? That's my brother for you. There was no way that this guy could have mistaken him for Mario, was it? The guy he killed? By this point, Ridley had realized that he must have been shrunken down to the life size of local life forms somehow. But he looked down at himself, and he could clearly see that he was a normal purplish-looking dragon-like self apart from the size difference. No one
Luigi's just an idiot.
He looked down at himself, malnourished, sickly purple skeleton creature. Luigi was not fazed. Mario, you
Hey,
look
Mario.
horrible!
No.
Mario, we need to get some mushrooms in
I
you.
can see your ribs, Mario. You're not wearing any clothes.
Why?
That's what your dick looks like, Mario.
Pretty cool.
Thumbs up. Ridley decided that the best course of action would be to play along and pretend that he didn't realize that the green-clad being was pretending to not notice that Ridley wasn't this Mario. Yes, I'm back. I have rescued the princess from the clutches of the nefarious giant turtle and returned to this here castle that I live at. Oh, does that mean you've decided to move on to the castle? The man in green asked. Ridley hesitated. Yes. Well, I'm.
What are you getting out of this, Ridley?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It won't be the same around the house without you there, brother. I mean, no. Ridley backtracked. Maybe. Let's just say that I'm thinking about it and move on. Okie dokie.
Why did Ridley turn into like a DreamWorks character?
What do you mean?
Just like his reactions. He's so like just whatever, nervous around Luigi. Like trying to play it off cool even though he killed him and then flew down to assumedly kill more.
That's a good point. He is hungry. I guess he ate a mushroom, but Ridley stared.
Like why does he need to like suck up to Luigi all of a sudden?
He doesn't want to let him
What's he
down.
gonna
He looks
get
so
out of
innocent.
it? That's true. I wouldn't want to let him down either.
Ridley stared down at the man in green, who looked back up at him. Ridley flapped his wings once to see if that would draw the man's attention. He didn't seem to notice. Well...
God damn.
Luigi is so brain dead. Well, anyway, Ridley muttered, I'm going to go leave and check up on the princess. You know, gonna see how she's going. What a coincidence.
Ridley stretches his wingspan as far as it goes, and then Luigi blinks one eye at a time.
Mario's become a decrepit, like, vampire winged creature. He's nude. Luigi doesn't say anything.
Ridley,
It's just a power up.
Yeah, it's normal.
Ridley caws like a fucking cryptid.
He saw Mario turn into a cloud.
Ridley coughs
Mario
up a
could
dead
be
toad.
anything.
Luigi looks down at his feet. He's just like, anyway.
Are you hungry, bro?
Ridley says, well, anyway, I'm going to go leave and check up on the princess, you know, see how she's going. What a coincidence, the man in green said. I was going to go see how things were holding up at the castle with the princess gone, but now that she's back already, I think I'll go see her as well. Fine. Ridley was extremely uncomfortable. Either this man was the greatest actor he'd ever seen, or he was the biggest idiot he'd ever seen. Or maybe both. Ridley had no idea what to make of the current situation, but decided to continue playing along for the moment.
Why?
Then we should probably go inside then to see the princess, yeah? You've got it. The green guy walked up to the door and knocked twice. The doors opened and Ridley and the guy in green both stepped inside the castle. Ridley was surprised to see that the inside of the castle was somehow even worse than the outside, although he supposed that it did have a lot of sort of regal look to it. Either way, it wasn't really to Ridley's taste, though some would say that Ridley had no taste. Ridley would respond by eating those people and seeing how they taste.
Okay.
Ridley and the green guy made their way through the castle's brightly decorated halls until they reached the throne room. There was a humanoid person sitting on the throne that Ridley assumed must have been a female. She was wearing a pink dress and a golden crown. The female's blue eyes and blonde hair reminded Ridley of the hunter, but he quickly shook that thought out of his head. There was no way the hunter would come to this backwater planet out in the middle of nowhere on the outer edges of known space.
Backwater?
They are mushroom people.
Yeah.
He says this, like, out loud in the middle of this castle to the princess.
Backwater town.
This fucking cryptid being in a Mario hat walks up to the beach.
The standards of living are so high.
Luigi's waddling up next to this, like, Lovecraftian being. It's like, hey, princess. And this, like, actual 3D CGI monster is flapping his wings next to him. Peach is like, Ridley thought about it for a moment. This planet could potentially be useful as a place to get away from the hunter for a while. He was starting to get tired of her constantly murdering him after all. Perhaps he would try to extend his stay here for a little longer. Hi, Mario, Luigi, the princess said excitedly as Ridley and the guy in green came closer. It's good to see you two. You wouldn't believe what just happened to me. I heard you got kidnapped by a Bowser again, Luigi said. I did, but that's when things got weird. Some weird lobster people snuck into the castle and broke me out of there. They brought me back here and asked for a reward, which we were happy to give them. Then they just left. Wow, that's really surprising, Luigi said, in surprise. Do you have any idea where they came from? No, they just showed up out of nowhere. What do you think about this? Luigi asked Ridley. Yes, Ridley still couldn't tell if anyone had realized he was Mario yet or not. Is it Mario? That is quite unusual. Well, we should probably be heading back home now, Luigi told the princess. It was a nice seeing you, Princess Peach. Yes, I'm sure you have other things you need to do, Princess replied and started to wave goodbye. See you again. Luigi turned to go. Come on, Mario. I'm making your favorite spaghetti for dinner tonight. Ridley was so utterly confused as to what was going on. Did no one really notice that he, the purple space dragon / space pirate leader, was not the portly human they called Mario? Was it the hat?
Mario is so unimportant.
Maybe it was some kind of hologram. Ridley had no idea, but he had just promised food, and he was quite hungry, so he went along with Luigi.
Ridley's gonna have spaghetti for the first time.
That's so good. But I'm gonna end it there.
It's so good and so affordable.
There are like 20-something chapters, and that was only one, so... Chapter 2 is called A Plate Full of Spaghetti, which is incredibly enticing. Oh, it's really short. Let me read this one, actually.
Okay.
Okey doke.
Ridley followed Luigi as they made their way out of the castle. A pair of short humanoid creatures opened the large set of double doors so that Luigi and Ridley could leave. Luigi walked outside while Ridley stopped to examine the creatures that had happened to open the doors for them. They appeared to have giant mushrooms of some kind growing out of their heads, which intrigued Ridley. He grabbed one of the humanoids by the mushroom cap with his talons and lifted the creature up to see if it was just a hat. The mushroom didn't come off, and Ridley ended up lifting the strange creature up off the ground. The fungus creature started having a fit and flailing its arms around and legs around, so Ridley dropped it and fell on the ground with a thump. Ridley then realized... Ridley realized that Luigi was leaving without him, and he had to fly over to catch up with the green-clad human. I like that he just abused the toad in broad daylight and nobody did anything.
Yeah.
They're used to it. Mario doesn't enough.
Mario kicks him in the stomach all the time. They don't mind.
He tries to take off their hat all the time.
Almost got you.
This is not fucking real. Stop mocking me. Take it off.
As he flew ahead, he passed by a tall blonde woman. Time seemed to stop for a second as he passed by and met her icy blue gaze. It was as if she were staring right into his soul. But a second later, and he had caught up to Luigi while the woman had entered the castle, so he put the thought out of his mind. Ridley continued to follow Luigi as they made their way through a town just outside the castle. You think that was Rosalina or Samus?
I think Rosalina. I think you would have recognized Samus.
Fair.
True.
They passed by a post
Could be
office.
Samus.
Yeah, I mean, Rosalina seems like a weird person to just be walking around outside, but I guess she does have to go to the castle. They passed by a post office, a flower garden of some sort, a strange building with a conical blue roof that seemed to spin around for some reason, some sort of training dojo, a large water fountain, and a small shop, before Luigi came to stop in front of a large green pipe sticking straight up out of the ground. I feel like this is Paper Mario.
I think so.
Well, Mario, here we go. Luigi suddenly jumped higher than Ridley would have guessed possible by the green-clothed man who did not look like he was in particularly good shape. He landed on top of the green pipe and was sucked into it like some sort of vortex. Ridley was actually somewhat startled by this unexpected turn of events, but peered down the pipe to see what was inside. Even with his exceptional vision and ability to see into the infrared spectrum, didn't appear to be anything down there but utter darkness. Well, so much for the green one, Ridley muttered to himself as he started to walk away.
No, you need the spaghetti.
Oh.
You know, I was actually a bit sad. I was looking forward to seeing what spaghetti was.
Me too.
Ridley heard a strange sound from behind him and turned back to see Luigi standing on top of the pipe. What's the matter, Mario? Luigi asked Ridley. Do you have something you need to do before we head home? No. Ridley would have been surprised to see Luigi's sudden return, but at this point, he wasn't sure anything could surprise him anymore. I'll be right there. Luigi went back through the pipe and Ridley walked back up to it. Perhaps it was some kind of teleporter? Ridley had never seen anything quite like it, but he decided there was no other choice. Dinner was on the line. He climbed on top of the pipe and slid down. It was a weird...
There was no other choice.
It was a weird, almost exhilarating feeling as he felt like he was being sucked through pitch black tunnels at some point, and it felt like he had been spun around and was moving the opposite direction before he resurfaced. Ridley found himself in a small, secluded clearing surrounded by a white wooden fence. Directly ahead of him was a relatively large house in some sort of painted, creamy red color with a tiled red roof. There was a large pile of pipes similar to the one Ridley had just traveled through on one side of the house. On the other side of the house, there was a large wooden stake that had been hammered into the ground, with a large steel chain connecting it with a moderately black metallic orb that seemed to be swaying back and forth gently. Ridley had no idea what the black orb could be, but he thought he could hear the faint sound of snoring coming from its direction. Well, we have a dog. Luigi stood on top of the front porch of the house, waving at Ridley to come on over. Ridley jumped off the green pipe he was still standing on and glided over to the steps. Just flies.
Yeah. I love that he keeps doing that.
Luigi's unfazed.
Nothing matters.
He walked up the stairs, which was the first for him because in the past he had always been too large to use stairs properly and would just jump or fly over them. Once he was up, Luigi turned around and opened the door, then walked inside. Ridley followed him in and realized that he had never actually been inside of a house before. Sure, he had destroyed houses and homes before, but he had never really been inside one. It had a cozy feel to it, which Ridley found unfamiliar and a little disconcerting, but also mildly pleasant somehow. I'm a-going to get
This is like
dinner.
when a Dragon Ball character just turns good because they hang out with Goku too much.
Yeah.
Ridley's gonna become a hero.
At last.
I'm a-going to get dinner ready, Luigi said, walking into the kitchen. You can just sit down and relax.
As he opens the jar of spaghetti sauce and boils
Starts the
water.
car.
Luigi's famous spaghetti opens a big can of ragu.
This is the loudest can opening machine he has.
Ridley wasn't sure that he had ever actually used a chair before, so he decided to look around instead of sitting down. There was a painting of the princess hanging up on one of the walls which Ridley admired. It looked to Ridley like a near-perfect likeness of the princess, but then again he had only seen her once, for only a few minutes. He wondered briefly if the portrait had been painted by the one they called Mario. Did Mario paint? Didn't really matter to Ridley very much. Either way, Ridley was probably going to take the painting when he left and add it to his collection. His what? Oh no. Ridley walked over to a window and started looking outside, where he saw the black orb he noticed earlier. From this angle, he could see that what appeared to be a row of massive white teeth, possibly even sharper than his own. Further inspection showed that it also had eyes, though they were currently closed. Is Bow Wow still asleep? Luigi asked from the kitchen. That's a Chain Chomp is always so lazy. Chain Chomp? Ridley had never seen anything quite like the creature before. The way the light reflected off it made it look metallic, but the longer Ridley stared at it, the more obvious the thing was alive.
Ridley is so not Mario. They look nothing alike.
This chapter's almost over.
The fabled spaghetti dinner.
Hey Mario, Luigi called for Ridley. Dinner's ready. Why don't you come over here and eat it before it gets a cold? Oh, my voice is so fucking dead. I don't want to do Luigi anymore.
You needed that spaghetti. Now go get it.
Ridley turned around and saw Luigi placing a pair of plates on the table in what Ridley assumed must be the mess hall. The fucking house.
Ridley scrambled on all fours to the dinner table. The mess hall for two.
Mario's mess hall.
Oh, it's a mess hall, right?
What Ridley assumed must be the mess hall or whatever the household equivalent was. He walked over to one of the chairs and fumbled around with it, trying to figure out how to sit down properly. He eventually... Luigi's just watching Mario struggle to sit down. He eventually figured out that he needed to slide his tail between the wooden posts that made up the back of the chair and was able to sit properly, quote unquote.
Stop thinking Ridley's never sat down.
He's just like the guy from Baki the Grappler who owns a country, and he's like asleep in his locker in the jailhouse, and Baki's like, why were you in there? And he's like, a true warrior never sleeps laying down. I've never, no, he says some shit like, I've never laid down or sat in my life. It's like, fuck you.
You ever think anyone in Baki's just full of shit?
Oh my god.
You have to at some point. Sit properly while Luigi started eating. Ridley looked down at the plate in front of him. It looked like quote-unquote spaghetti was made from the intestines of some sort of small animal that were straightened out.
Does it look like what's in general?
What am I looking at? The picture of spaghetti you sent me?
Yeah.
You just sent a plate of spaghetti that's served in a pie pan.
It's like a to-go Italian spaghetti meal.
It's so fucking messy and dirty.
Looks like shit. So Luigi served with Ridley.
He slid it to him like a fucking mug at a bar.
With that same horrible lighting.
The only plates in their house are to-go Italian containers. To-go boxes.
Hey, why buy plates when we can just get them for free when we get the food? They're washable. They wouldn't use them if you couldn't reuse them.
I can't do this right now. I need to finish the story. Please.
Finish it. You said it was
It's
short.
the last paragraph.
Okay.
It looked like spaghetti was made from the intestines of some sort of small animal that were straightened out and served coated in the animal's blood. This was clearly the kind of meal that Ridley could get behind. Maybe the natives of this backward planet weren't as useless as he thought. He looked up at Luigi, who was eating his food using a fork. Ridley looked down at his own fork, placed beside his plate, then back at his food. Ridley then lowered his head and started eating straight from the plate. He had never known what he had been missing out on his entire life. Boy, you sure are hungry, aren't you? Luigi said, not reacting to the spaghetti sauce flying everywhere. Sure is a good thing I made extra. The end.
Woo!
Woo! Ridley got his meal. He got his bounty. He's feeling good.
Hell yeah. He got his takeout.
That was a good ending. That was a proper ending to Ridley's tale.
Fucking lovely.
I rate that story Mario's melting corpse.
I rate that a disheveled plate of spaghetti that Luigi chucks at his guest.
I rate that like a slow banning oil painting SpongeBob gross ass shot of Luigi and Mario's hat. His decrepit body.
You mean Ridley?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Luigi and Mario's hat with a decrepit body.
Ridley and Mario's hat.
Oh my god.
God. That's a story that's gonna be like 40,000 words and ends with like Mario saying, "I had an extra life."
Yeah.
Right.
Judging by the chapter list, it looks
Okay.
like they eventually go to the Donkey Kong Island and meet King K. Rool.
Yes.
Yo.
The dream. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go pee pee.
Okay, man.
I'm sure we can find the disgusting spaghetti video in the meantime.
Of course, of course. Let me see.
I'm just seeing a lot of kitchen nightmares. Hell's Kitchen, I mean.
See, I have a stream open.
Let's see.
Here we go.
I don't know where it is. There we go.
Huh?
I found it. Who's this freak that doesn't know what to call spaghetti? There we go. Ah! You better not put the spaghetti in there. Oh, you bastard.
Stop going live. I was gone for like a second.
What the
We had
fuck
to
is she
find
doing?
bad spaghetti. That's what Luigi
Stop.
made.
I'm not watching your stream. The bandwidth is gonna die.
She seems proud of her meal. Okay.
Good, good. After I made the sun eat it.
You made a whole lot of spaghetti, you said?
I was gonna pull up the Kitchen Nightmares worst spaghetti moments.
It's specifically spaghetti.
Worst pasta moments, but whatever.
Okay. Worst spaghetti moments.
Alright, let's see here. Tis my
Yes,
turn.
take us home, big blue breedery.
I thought you called me Big Lou for a minute.
Big Lou.
Let's go, Scout. Read you my fan fiction.
Yeah, he's big, alright.
Samus Aran looked at the big dino dude. Name was Mother Brain. And no, she didn't have anything to do with the Mother series. However, she was the
good.
mother to a bunch of clingy freakazoids. They were called Metroids, and there's only one left, but where was it? Samus shot an ice beam. It froze Mother Brain's toe, but she broke free.
Mother Brain's toe.
Her single toe.
Oh, my toe.
But she somehow managed to break free.
Samus is more mercy than Vernon Dursley.
Yeah, sure.
Vernon was so quick to shoot his sister-in-law.
Chest.
Not even a warning shot.
Nope, not one.
Brain then proceeded to shoot a mouth laser at Samus.
Brain from
Samus had...
What? No, not Brain from Arthur. Samus had one hit point, not much armor left. Mother Brain approached. You think you can defeat me? What an interesting thought. Get it? Because I'm a brain, and as such I'm inquiring about thoughts. The joke's lost on you. Ah!
I don't like this one very much.
Suddenly a green creature of fangs floated in. It was the last Metroid.
Oh.
Samus was happy to see it, but it was a lot bigger than when she last met it. She raised this Metroid, so it was good, I think. Then it grabbed onto Samus's head and, let's start over. Okay. Fast forward. Dino Dude, Freakazoids, Inquiries. Here we are. The Metroid latched onto Samus and began to restore her energy. Mother
What
Brain...
was that? Was that part of the story?
Yes.
Why? Why'd they say stop, let's start over, and then fast forward through what they just read?
The fucking Metroid killed Samus.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a real good... It's not a waste of time, I promise. Anyhow, Mother Brain bellowed, I could not have predicted this, even with my big brain. Mother Brain was mad.
That's right, you mother bitch.
Mother Brain was mad. She liked to predict things. She walked up to the
I hate this story.
It's only 1,000 words, it's okay.
She liked to predict things. She was so mad.
She walked up to the Metroid and bit it. It deflated like a balloon.
No.
Oh no. Samus yelled, No! That's my son! You will pay! It turns out that not only did her energy get restored, but Samus got a weapon upgrade. It fired miniature Metroid snot blobs. The Metroid beam. Samus coined it in the heat of battle. Samus fired the beam at Mother Brain and it got her in the eye. She complained.
Just using that vernacular makes it seem like such a mundane thing.
Yeah.
She didn't shriek, she didn't cry, she complained.
She complained about not being all-seeing anymore or some garbage. Samus kept firing until Mother Brain got all stickied up. Then she activated a bomb to destroy planet Zebus, the planet of Mother Brain's base of operations. Samus was on this planet, obviously. She needed to escape. I'll get you, Aaron! Yelled Mother Brain as Samus rolled into a ball and went down a hatch. Samus emerged from a tube at the central landing point of Zebus. She stood on the rocky surface and glared at the twisted purple sky. Tall, rocky mountains penetrated the thick air. Samus snarled. This was a terrible place. She went to her ship.
She
This
left.
backwater town.
The elevator on the top lowered and descended into the cockpit. Samus pressed a big green button that said go. The 4 rockets under the ship lit up. Samus was gradually lifted towards the air. She looked down at Zebus, at the horrible creatures congregating at the landing point. Then she looked up and she was in space. Whatever, Samus blurted out. Not like I've never been in space before. The unprecedented remark was followed by the planet beneath her exploding. Another job well done. Ring, ring. Samus picked up the receiver. Hello? Samus' friend Adam Malkovich replied, Sorry to bother you, but another problem has come up. Codename Great Pizza. Chapter 2, The Mystery About Great Pizza.
Okay. Who's Adam Malkovich?
That's the guy who's always talking to you in like Fusion and all the other games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Adam
Such a
is an
real
actual
name.
character.
Yeah, it's just such a real name.
Yeah. Samus was not one to ignore a mission. She switched the coordinates on her ship and changed trajectory to Sector 1, the location of the distress call. Samus never got a break, but she didn't really mind. This kind of stuff was somewhat fun. She flowed to the parking lot of the station, which was empty. She landed. She walked in
Parking lot.
She walked in a door. She was in the main lab of Sector 1. There were a lot of doctors on the floor writhing in pain. Adam was there. He began to speak. Samus, we have a problem. When we started this mission to discover the source of the odd radio waves coming from this abandoned space station, we didn't know what we were getting into. There are aliens out there, Samus, like spiders. Samus suddenly...
Spiders?
What the fuck?
Oh no.
Spiders.
Aliens like spiders. Spiders are kind of alien-like. They got so many legs.
True. Samus suddenly remembered the spiders. They were small and spiky, with 2 large fangs. Yuck, I hate spiders, Samus said. We all do, Samus. They've been attacking us day and night. And have eaten some of our best doctors. There's many other monsters out there too. Anyway, we have another problem. We have no We have another problem. We have no pizza.
Oh no.
Why pizza specifically, Samus asked. It's the perfect food for eating on the job, Aaron. Adams responded.
The perfect food
Adam
for
is
eating
my
on
kinda
the
guy.
job.
Just one hand on your pizza, one hand on your keyboard. It's easy.
Aaron, you can balance it on your fucking arm cannon while you shoot. Adam responded, there is no mystery about great pizza. Anyway, he continued, we did not bring enough to placate us on the long excursion, so we ordered an intergalactic pizza man. His name was Shaggy. However, somehow he got lost somewhere in Sector 1.
Did you write this?
No!
Right.
Now, our troops are starving and only Shaggy can save them. Samus gasped. That's horrible. But not to worry, I can find Shaggy. Not alone, you can't! That is why I'm assigning one of my top men to come with you. That's why I'm assigning one of my top men to come with you. Corporal Do?
Oh, this is about to get really annoying.
It's okay, it's only 1,000 words.
Okay.
Corporal Do exclaimed as he stepped out of the shadows. Rich Ryan Raggy.
This whole Great Dane was standing in the shadows.
Corporal Do.
Corporal Do. That sucks.
Samus looked at the dog with disdain. She sighed and accepted her mission. We're all counting on you, Samus, Adam said. Our lives rest in your hands. Adam pressed a button. A door opened at the other side of the room. Samus began to walk toward the door, while Dew kept circling around her. Malkovich waved. This is going to be a long day, Samus thought to herself. After walking down some long hallways, Corporal Dew barking and hollering the whole way through.
Just making a scene doing dog things on this spacecraft.
Yeah.
My partner, sorry. It's nothing, Scooby. Stop.
Samus began to walk toward the door while Anyway, Samus and Corporal Dew came to a scaffolding. Dew screamed and jumped into Samus's arms. Luckily, her power suit was very strong, so she could support the corporal.
Screamed.
Jesus. Peeking the mic.
They just saw just scaffolding.
Samus made him get down and scolded him.
Scooby, get down! Made him get down. Didn't put him down. Made him put in the work to get down.
Oh my god. They began to walk across the scaffolding when it suddenly cracked. Samus went plummeting. However, Corporal Dew looked down from above and shivered in fright.
Now he doesn't want to go.
He shouted. Rug? I see no rug, Corporal, Samus said. Then Samus heard a buzzing noise, then more buzzing noises.
Oh no, not rug. Bug.
Uh-oh. Bug! She pulled out her laser cannon. She blasted some of the bugs, but they kept coming. In the darkness, she saw a hive. She aimed at it and shot a missile, and there the hive went.
Good job, Samus.
The remaining bugs approached. One latched onto Samus. She shot it off her head, but it hurt her as well. Corporal Dew howled. Chapter 3, you really bug me.
I was just not over.
Anyway, let me read through this real fucking quick. Aha!
Let's go.
Okay. Samus did not like bugs. They were sticky and weird, but there were too many of them to manage. A bug flew at her, and she did a quick step at the last moment to avoid it. More bugs approached, and subsequent quick steps were performed. All 5 of the bugs were in a circle formation. Just the way I like 'em, Samus said. She prepared a rocket. The bugs approached slowly. When they entered Samus's range of fire, she shot the rocket. They all scattered except for one who faced the full blunt force of the missile. Dag, Samus said. Rag, Corporal Dew replied. Let's see, she shot a bug. She saw a bug. Ramus! Rumbon is red! Corporal Dew said. He was holding a Burger King bag. Samus had no hope left for normal tactics. She hopped onto the beast's head. Corporal Dew jumped down, sure that the pit was safe after she destroyed the bugs. Ramus, I rot burger ring, the cheery dog exclaimed. I rot a burger, and I rot a ricken and rapple. What the fuck? I got a ricken and rapple salad. Anyway, fucking Corporal Dew got indigestion, end of story.
You losing patience with Corporal Dew.
I got really mad.
You thought that was gonna be so funny, and you got so mad.
I am mad. I'm mad.
Why? Because he got Burger King? Because that's something you do?
He got Burger King watching his friend do all the work. He got himself
got Burger Ring and got a Rick and Rapple wrap.
He got her a burger and himself an apple and chicken salad.
Yeah.
Anyway, the end.
I rate that story a chicken and apple salad. In Scooby-Doo's maw.
I rate that 2 short yells at Scooby to quiet down. Hey! Hey!
I rate that Samus working for the company that made Scooby-Doo a corporal.
The Samus lower or higher rank than Corporal Do?
Not a clue.
You don't want to know.
That's probably for the best. I would be very upset with one answer, and at most mildly annoyed with the other.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a truly difficult episode. There's some very good stories, though.
Yeah.
That was 3 scary stories. That was 3 scary games. Thanks for watching this Markiplier episode.
Thank you all for joining us in today's episode of Crossing the Line, the Fanfiction podcast.
In the next exciting episode...
What is
Danny Phantom.
Whoa.
it? Ooh.
Danny Phantom's
there
a
we
good
go.
one. Exciting.
Danny
Hell
Danny
yeah.
Phantom is a good one. It's a peak fanfiction era, like mid to late 2000s.
Oh,
Everybody wants their own headcanons because it's more serious than Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has that same
I'm
aesthetic.
sure people are
Yeah.
stoked to
So-
do some of that.
So there's gonna be lots of big names there.
Absolutely.
Until then, maybe next episode we'll be able to do it in person. Or maybe it'll be another remote episode. Who knows? We'll have to see where the world's at, where we're at. But thank you for listening to this one. Remember to check us out on Spotify, on Twitter, on YouTube. We've got all links in the description below. There's a Discord you can join and hang out in. It's a lot of fun. We post lots of stuff there all the time. Everybody's great in there. You're all epic.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a good night.
Have a
Have a good night.
Metroid-tastic day.
I hope
Yes.
you can get a pizza.
It's the best food to eat on the job.
I hope you get lots of spaghetti.
Get lots of spaghetti.